Brett, yes.
Nice to meet you. My name is Eddie Yamba.
Eddie, Mr. Yamba, nice to meet you.
Yep, you can have a seat.
Thank you.
Okay. Like I said, my name is Eddie Yamba, and I'm a member of the HR department for Kilbon Group.
Okay.
And after reviewing your application, I decided that you were a very good candidate for this intern position. That's why I called you for an interview.
Okay.
During this interview, I'll be asking you questions about your past experience, your education, and then your background.
Okay.
This interview should take approximately 8 to 10 minutes, so if you're ready, we could set the ball rolling.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Bret Sheely. I am a senior accounting major at Minnesota State University, Moorhead. I'll graduate in May with my bachelor's degree in accounting. And once I graduate with my bachelor's, I'm hoping to start pursuing my master's degree in accounting and finance. I'll start that in the fall of this year. I think that should take me about 1.5 to 2 years, and once that's completed, I want to sit for the CPA exam. So really, right now, I'm just looking to get some, good accounting experience from which I can, establish a solid foundation on to build further later on in my career.
Okay, with that being said, I'm going to jump right into the working environment. I want to know, do you like to work alone or work in a group, and why?
I think my natural tendency is to work alone, just because I tend to concentrate better and there's fewer distractions. However, I think there are definitely benefits to working in a group. For instance, working in a group really provides a greater variety of points of view and past experience from which you can pull from to come up with the most creative solution possible to a given problem. Sometimes it's just refreshing to consult other people to kind of get their input on how you can solve a problem, and sometimes they have ideas that you would never have thought of. So I think the best answer that I can give you is that I like to have a mix of working individually but also in groups. I think that provides a nice balance for me.
Okay, thank you for answering that, and I want to ask you, why did you choose accounting as your major?
Well, I took a few accounting courses in high school, and I found that I really liked them. I enjoyed the logic that was inherent in accounting, and I've always kind of enjoyed working with numbers as well. Before attending MSUM, I went to North Dakota State College of Science and was just really pursuing a general arts degree, or a general studies degree, I should say. And while there, I took a few more accounting classes, and I found that I still really enjoyed studying accounting. So I just decided to stick with that and pursue my degree in accounting.
Okay, thank you for answering that. And I want to know, why did you choose to work for Kilbon Group?
Well, let's see. I've lived in North Dakota my whole life, and I don't think there is an organization that's devoted to improving the quality of life in North Dakota that's as innovative as Kilburn Group. I've actually had the opportunity to live in downtown Fargo, so I think being able to contribute my skills and talents to Kilburn Group to extend the company's reach in the area would be very satisfying and fulfilling for me professionally. Also, I think that any company that Doug Burgum starts, I think is going to be doing big things in the future, so to be part of the early stages of that would be very rewarding.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to tell me about the specific skills you've gained over your past jobs, because looking at your resume right here, I see you work for Microsoft Corp and Ike Bailey. So if you can touch on the specific skills or knowledge you gained from working those companies, that would be very good.
Sure. Let's see. Well, working at Ike Bailey definitely taught me a lot about time management. I had, I would say, good time management skills prior to working at Ike Bailey, but working in the public accounting field during busy season really forces you to be the most efficient and effective worker that you can be. There's always deadlines to be met. There's always work to be done. So it really forces you to become a more organized worker, and it really honed my time management skills. So I think that was a definite benefit of working at Ike Bailey.
Okay.
Working at Microsoft in the payroll department really taught me the importance of details in any job that I do. There's one instance when I was working at Microsoft in which A few thousand employees were set to receive their bonuses in February, and the person administering those bonuses made a simple mistake. All she did was click a button twice. That's literally all she did. But that caused thousands of employees to be paid their bonuses twice, which created countless headaches and countless extra hours of work for us in the payroll department to complete. So it just kind of, I guess that event solidified in my mind the importance of details in my work. And I think it made me a more analytical and observant worker.
Okay, talking about your past job experience and the skills you've gained, I want to know how many employees have you worked for looking back to the past 5 years?
Let's see. I think I've worked for 5 previous employers in the last 5 years. And the reason for that is a lot of the jobs that I've held were seasonal. For instance, the Ide Bailey internship that I held was only set to last the busy season. And I've had a few summer jobs as well that just lasted the summer months. But honestly, I'm really looking to work at a company where I can establish some roots and make my mark at the company, and somewhere that I can just stay for a while and get, I guess, build relationships with coworkers and really to make the greatest impact possible.
Okay, like you said, you worked for 5 different employers, and I want to know, what is the top or standout characteristic that they're all going to say is your strength?
I think they would all say that I'm a very, very responsible worker. I'm always on time, I'm never late. I always do the jobs assigned to me to the best of my ability in the most efficient and timely manner possible. And I really enjoy helping out my fellow coworkers and colleagues too, to really to really kind of take some of the pressures off of them when I can. So I think I'm also a team player in that regard as well. But I think the major thing that my past employers would say is that I'm a responsible worker.
Okay, thank you for sharing that with me. I'm going to ask you a very basic question about your hobbies and interests. What do you like to do as your hobby?
Oh boy, let's see. I like to read, work out, play basketball, really any team sport. I'm really into team sports, I guess. I just like succeeding as a team. And just basic stuff like hanging out with family and friends, things like that.
Okay, thank you for sharing that as well. I can see you're very involved in your internship position here, and you're interested as well. I'm going to look into your documents and your application.
Okay.
Eventually, we're going to get back to you. If you have any questions you want to ask me about the company, this would be the perfect time for you to ask.
Sure, I do have a few questions for you actually. What would you say the work culture is like at Kilborn Group?
Well, looking at what you said, like you said you prefer to work alone. Over here at Kilborn, we give workers the opportunity to either work alone or work in group or use the mix. There are times where you're going to need to work in a group, and there are times where you're going to need to work alone.
Okay.
So you're going to have the opportunity to play both roles and develop yourself in both situations. So that is one culture about this company that you should be looking forward to.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, like I was saying before, I really like a mix, working alone but also with people. So I'm really glad that you said that the work culture is kind of involves a little bit of both, I guess. The next question I had was, what do you think the hardest part of being an accounting intern at Kilborn Group is?
Well, the hardest part, I will say, will be the initial stages. That is the learning stages, because accounting is a job that you need to have a lot of information known. The training takes about 3 to 4 weeks, and during this 3 to 4 weeks, you should be able to learn a lot of accounting principles and a lot of processes that we use in this company. Normally during these stages, a lot of interns tend to struggle with the concepts and all that, but if you're able to understand these concepts within the first few months, I think you should be very ready to go and set for your career. So if you prepare yourself well for these early stages, I think you should do very well.
Okay. And again, I think my past experience working at organizations like Microsoft and iBailey, I think have prepared me to come in and start contributing to Kilburn Group on day one. I think that, you know, they've given me a lot of skills and prior knowledge that I can apply to this job. So I think that the learning curve for me would be a little bit shorter than some workers because of my past experience. But yeah, I guess, I mean, that's all the questions I have. And I just want to say again that I really appreciate you sitting down with me and discussing this position with me and allowing me to kind of give my input on how I could contribute to the company.
Well, thank you very much as well for acknowledging our invitation for this interview. I think I have all the information I need,
Okay.
and if there's any questions, I will go ahead and email you with your contact information or call your phone number.
Okay.
And so, thanks again, and I look forward to introducing you to our department.
Oh, for sure. I appreciate your time.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Yamba.
Thank you very much. You have a good day.
You too.